Inner Circle family, what's up? Good to see you guys. Sheila coming to us from your motorhome, what's up? Love it. Good to see you, Barb. What's up? Look at all these amazing people. Lisa and Larissa and Larry and Scott. Oh my God, Karen. Heather, how are you today? What's going on? Good to see everybody. Hey guys, what's up, Inner Circle? You know, we just played that video to remind everybody that I'm really cool. No, I'm just kidding. I was just watching, I'm like, this is kind of my Inner Circle family. We don't need to play that, but we do because we have a lot of new people joining us today, people who just joined or became a part of Inner Circle recently. So for those of you who are part of our alumni, part of our family, can you welcome everybody new to Inner Circle? Let them know what this family is like. This Inner Circle family is cool. It's, you know, here's the cool part about Inner Circle. You know, I've been doing more trainings, if you guys realized or see, in the last couple of years than I have in the last 20. And I've done that because I just feel like it's a time we need it more. I feel inspired to be more, share more, do more, to step up my game, to deliver more capabilities to people in a time when uncertainty's high, right? There's some craziness going on in the outside world, and I just feel it's time that I'm here more and do more. But the Inner Circle family is kind of special. Some of you have been with me for over 7 years. Listen, if you're new, this is a pretty special place. Every month I come up with a topic that is front and center in my mind that I think is really most important. They all fall under the category of either mindset, marketing, or momentum. And for me, you know, if you're going to be successful in your life, we definitely have the right mindset. Can we all agree? Especially in times like right now, if we don't have the right mindset, it is hard to stay focused. And then if we're going to be in business, we best understand marketing. We best fall in love with marketing. We must make it a part of our DNA and turn marketing into service. So it's not marketing or sales. It's how do I serve more people to create success? And then once you do that, we got to keep it going. That's why we need momentum. So I love those 3 M's, and that's what the Inner Circle stands for. Again, this is, I think, year 6 or 7. It could be longer. I don't know. It's been a really long time. So thank you for those of you who've been with us forever. Those of you who are new, you're joining something pretty special, something where every month you can get a hit of something that makes sense. Plus you can go back and look at some of the previous ones, right? You have access to it. Today, I want to talk about marketing and your messages in this new world. And we are definitely in a new world. Things have definitely shifted, and I don't believe things are going back to the way they used to be. And that's okay. The world has evolved and changed since the beginning of time. You know, I think it was Abraham Lincoln said, if you don't understand history, it's bound to repeat itself, right? I've been geeking out on history a lot lately, and all the things that we're going through that seem so unique and so new to us in this moment with shutdowns and separation and polarization and division and uncertainty and all those pieces, they've happened over and over in the history of time, forever. And I'm gonna just digress here for a second, if you don't mind. And if you're new here, you got to understand this. I feel like I'm a little bit different personalities in each group. Like I have my self-education group. I go live for like 10 minutes every Monday with you guys. And I have people who are in our Project Next Level, our higher end mastermind division and the Mastermind Academy. That's a different group. This group, I'm always way more personal or kind of share what's going on in my life, in my heart, with my family in here, because this is my longest group. This is the longest group out of anything I've ever done where I've met consistently once a month. I'm saying 5 or 6, 7 years. It could be 10. It's been a long time, right? You know how, who knows? Did you ever look at something and go, I think that was last year, and you're like, oh my God, that was 4 years ago. How did that happen, right? So that's this group. And I see some of you. Connie, good to see you. I see so many people. I see some faces that I've seen in other groups too, and I love that. I love that we get to be a part of all our groups. But I've been geeking out on history lately because, I mean, if you're really honest, who's concerned with the state of the world right now? Just a little bit. Who's got a little concern the way things are going in your, you know, I know we got people from all over the world here. Here in America, things are a little cray-cray right now, but it's kind of like that everywhere, right? But when you understand history, it can take the emotion out of it and allow you to see it through the lens that it really is. And one thing I have to say that I believe is one of the greatest saviors. And I have to be an optimist, an optimistic thinker. But what solves problems more than anything is unity, not division. And I think the way things have been going over the last, well, I'm only 53. I say only, but I have to say that, is I've never seen anything more polarizing to push us apart, to feel separated, to lose the momentum we had of being united as one human race, right? And in our thinking, and having the ability to agree to disagree, right? I can remember being a kid that, when I was a kid, I can remember different parties and whether you're Democrat, Republican, or liberal or conservative. I remember really good debates that allowed us to find a connected center, and that's not where we are right now. We're really divided. Like, you're in one camp or another, or at least that's the way they want us to see it, because that's not the way I feel, and that's not the way most people I spend time with feel. But what I've seen through history is how this is fixed, or how it falls apart, is the more divided we are, the more easy we are for things to go in the wrong direction. And I love being a part of groups like this, because I think our collectiveness, our coming together, our looking through the lens of people that we disagree with and finding common ground, and finding common ground for our families, finding common ground for our children, finding common ground for our safety, finding common ground for our growth and our ability to be the best version of ourselves, being the version that God designed us to be, or the universe, whatever you believe. I think when that happens, even in groups of several thousand like us, I think that's where things start to change. The reason I love being here and seeing different faces from all over the world and all over places and all over backgrounds. We have this community. Look at this amazing chat that we get to connect through Zoom, and I get to see thousands of you at once. We can be this collective group, and between what I do and what Tony does, and UPW and Date with Destiny, and the mastermind groups, and the Impact Accelerator event we're doing soon, and all the things we get to do, we are blessed to see hundreds of thousands of people a year, and all we see is unity and strength, and people coming together and wanting to be a better version of themselves, and want to look through other people's glasses, and want to be connected. And I think that's how we change the world. It doesn't matter if Pascal thinks one thing and Cheryl thinks another. That's what makes this world so great, is different opinions, but we don't have to be divided. I'm not trying to give a lecture, and I'm not running for president, nor would I want to be. But I have children. I have people in my life that I love that are younger than me, and I'm sure we all do. And I think the way we solve things is to come together. And I think another way to solve things, and I really want you to hear this, is go get massively successful. Make so much money it's stupid, because money changes things. It's just a fact. Money is leverage. Money is not, if you use it to be greedy, take all the money for me, not help anyone. Boo-ha-ha. Like I was trying to do boo-ha-ha, it didn't come out so well. But that's evil. But being successful allows you to help flourish the economy, of course, but it also gives you leverage to help, to donate, to fix, to serve, to bring people together, to help make effective change. So I think being successful, and if you guys are part of this inner circle, you want another level of you, congratulations for having the nerve to say, yes, I want to make more money. I want to create more influence. I want to do more. Because if you don't think money solves problems, then first off, I don't believe you've ever given enough away. Think about that one. If you don't think money solves problems, you haven't given enough away. Secondly, when it comes to success, when money is no longer, that's not what I'm teaching today. I promise I'm going to get to my marketing strategies here in a moment. But again, I hope you don't mind. This is family. I say what's on my heart. If my kids were sitting here, this is exactly what I'd say. But I want to tell you something else I want you to think about with money. And I know so many of you are massively successful. So this isn't like, you're broke and I'm rich. Let me tell you, it's not that. That's not who I am. If you're new, that's not about that. What I want to say though is, when money is something that's on your list of things to worry about, and it should be. We can't do anything without money. We can't just sit at home and manifest everything to go great in our life. We'd love that, but they'll come throw you out of your house or your apartment. They'll take your TV. They'll take your car. We got to pay the bills, right? When money isn't as much of a worry, you get to focus on the things that are really important. You see, I watched my mom and dad my whole childhood. They didn't even realize it. Now I'm older. I didn't realize it as a kid. That money was their number one thing. I lived in a trailer park with my mom. We couldn't even afford the rent. We got evicted from the trailer park we lived in and moved in with my grandmother. My mom worked 3 jobs. Money was always the thing. She was a slave to it. She didn't have a degree. My mother's the most beautiful woman on the planet, had dyslexia really bad and never really got that fixed, so she always considered herself not that smart. So she would never go for a real job, like something that filled her heart. She would go for cleaning houses and painting houses and cleaning up salons and cutting hair when she could on the side. And like, she did all these things, and none of those are disrespectful. She worked, right? But money was her thing. She didn't have time to work on her personal growth or work on her emotional intelligence or overcome the things that may have went a little sideways as a kid and try to heal that child that was scared. She didn't. My father was the youngest of 12, was beat physically really bad to where that's why he didn't stay married long. That's why he had 11 brothers and sisters and didn't talk to any of them. He was in a physically abusive relationship and never took the time to heal that or forgive himself or forgive his father, right? Because all he worried about was making the next dollar, right? I get that. Maybe that's one of the reasons I'm successful, because I saw both my parents struggle so much with that it's like, I want to get that crap out of the way. Like, they never had time to work on themselves, right? And I want to tell you, as a person who didn't come from anything and legit went to school without lunch money some days, that I always thought money was going to heal me. And I just want to share this one thing before we get to our training. I just thought, I'll get more successful, get more rich, and I'll be good. It's kind of true, but not really, not in the way I thought. You see, I was running away from a painful childhood, which, who in here, if you're really honest, you worked really hard in your life because you ran away from something that wasn't so great, right? That's fine. And some of you, things were fine. I mean, my kids aren't having a troubled childhood. At least I don't think so. They might tell their therapist that in 20 years, but I think I'm doing a damn good job. You know what I'm saying, Victoria? Right? They could have therapy, but I'm hoping not, right? But I hope they're still massively successful. I don't want you to think you have to have a tragic childhood to be successful. But all of us are running away from something. Could have been a bad relationship or a job that totally sucks, or it's robbing your soul. So we're all moving away from something. But here's what I know. I ran away from that painful childhood, and I figured money, money, money. And when I was in my late 20s, I retired my mom. When I was in my 30s, I retired my dad. So I got the money out of the way for them. Greatest thing in my life. Since I was 27 years old, I've sent my mom a check every single week since I was 27 years old. I sent my dad a check every single week since I was 32 years old. I just bought my mom a brand new house. I just put my dad in a place that he absolutely loves. I buy him both their cars. Love that. I've been able to do great things, but it didn't heal me. It didn't allow me to dive into the shit that went sideways when I was a kid. Here's what it did, though. This is one part I want you to hear about success, because a lot of people confuse this. And if you're a little confused about money, if you're a little guilty to make money, if you're a little bit guilty that you're here, that you want to make more money, I got to get that crap out of your system, because that is just a lie someone else downloaded into you. I want to tell you, when I was able to get money so it wasn't the front and center worry of my life, guess who was left standing in the mirror? Just me. I didn't have to worry about the rent. I didn't have to worry about the car I wanted. I didn't have to worry about my kids. Only person standing. I couldn't use that excuse of, I'll worry about this later. Let me just slam a drink and keep moving harder. Let me just do this, or let me be distracted. When I was in my 20s, I dated obsessively. I went out and partied a lot. Like, I always found a way to hide the crap that was living inside, and most of it was through work. If I was going to say I was an aholic of something, I was a workaholic for sure in my 20s. And then guess what happened by the time I was 30, 35? I started getting successful. I started paid off all my debts. I retired my parents. I get in my 40s and I'm really successful. And I don't have to think about money anymore. I don't have to worry about it. I worry about my companies, my family, and all that stuff. And the only person left standing in the mirror was me. So if I want to give you, I'd like to give you a little incentive today for being more successful. Doesn't matter what age it is. I don't care if you're 20, 50, 70, or 90. My father became a new man at 80 years old. He's 86 right now, or 85 right now. He is a new human being. It took him that long, okay? I want to share something with you. When you get money out of the way, you get to work on you. You get to really face the person in the mirror and go do the work that you need to do. Whether you need to go make your 6-year-old self feel whole, you need to make that childhood version of you feel safe. I felt so unsafe as a child. My dad had lots of anger issues because he was beat so bad that he made my childhood really unstable and felt unsafe. I was always afraid as a child. I had a bleeding ulcer at 12 years old. I didn't know I had to go back and cure that 12-year-old boy and that 6-year-old boy. I'm sharing that, and this is a little personal stuff you don't see me say anyplace else. This is my inner circle family. What I'm telling you, what success can do, it can allow you to spend the time on the things you really need to do, that you're avoiding through work, you're avoiding through cocktails, you're avoiding through surfing on the internet, avoiding because you binge out on Netflix, avoiding through sex, through anything. There's things that we can put out there to hide and mask. And when you get money out of the way and you get to look at you in the mirror, you could say, now it's time to be a better version of me. And if anybody would have ever told me that in my 20s, I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? If I get money, I don't have to worry anymore. When I got money out of the way, the worry went up because I had nothing to worry about anymore except looking in the mirror and go, this guy's pretty screwed up. Like, you made the money, now let's find a way to be a better human. And when I got to work on me, I went from being in my previous relationship a good provider as a husband, an amazing dad, but I wasn't amazing. I got to work on me, and now I'm married to the love of my life, and I get to know what real love is, real compassion, real intimacy, real connection, real friendship. I get to be a dad that's completely connected to my children in a way that I thought I was, but in a whole different world because I got the coaching. I spent the money, I spent the time. I interviewed people who are good parents and who have great relationships. I got to heal the child I was. I got to forgive my dad all the way. Completely forgive my dad. My heart is complete. There's no animosity anywhere for my dad. I won't die with any regrets. I think all the time, what regrets would I have? How do I solve them now? Right? And it gave me a freedom that I never realized existed. So if you want something today to fight for the person you're supposed to be, you're meant to be, fight for that. Fight for the healing that you could be. And then here's the cool part. Then, like, when I got that, and listen, I also know how many of you are successful in here. Please, I'm not talking to you like you have nothing, and that's not what I'm saying. But I want to tell you this evolution is I got money out of the way, and I started seeing success. And then when I started becoming a better version of me, I got in better relationships. I was better to my team. I became a better trainer. I became a better human. Then all of a sudden, when I got my own money out of the way, I love that saying when you're on an airplane and it says, put your oxygen mask on first, right? Think about that. You put your oxygen mask on first, and then what's the next thing you do? Then you put it on other people. Once you get your oxygen mask on, then you could say, okay, I'm safe, I'm secure, I'm feeling better. Last year, I gave $600,000 to Operation Underground Railroad. It saved thousands of young women from slavery. My $600,000 translated, I have goosebumps, if you could see my hair stand. It translated to young women stuck in slavery. They don't know me, they never will, but my money funded men going in there and saving them. We passed 10 million meals through Feeding America. 10 million meals. I'll never meet anybody that got a meal, but somebody was hungry one day, and because I got money out of the way and then I became safer, some kid was hungry one day and he got a meal put on his plate. He has no idea where it came from, but I do, right? We built 2 schools in Africa. We just donated money right before the end of the year. We donated money to our local hospital to build a whole area for kids in Phoenix Children's Hospital. There was an area where kids and parents wait, and my wife went in there with my son because he's got really bad allergies, and the hospital is trying to, there's a lot of demands, and there's a lot of people who can't afford it, so most of the people who come there can't pay for it. So they're trying, right? They live off of grants and money. So my wife went there, and she was there all day with my son, and it was just a blank room, and there was all kinds of kids in there, and there was no toys, and there was no colors on the wall. My wife came home and told me, I called the director, I said, how much would it take to make that room amazing and put toys in there and paint color on the wall and put balls and make it so kids can see on the TV? He said, oh my God, what are you asking? I said, what would it take to do that? He said, I think $50,000 would make it amazing. I said, what's your account? I wired him $50,000 in 8 minutes. And right now they're working on making that place for those kids to go in there when they're sick and not feeling good, to make them feel amazing and feel alive. I don't know what lights you up, but I have goosebumps right now. So when somebody tells me money doesn't buy happiness, I'm sorry, I'm going to say one bad word today. Bullshit. Bullshit. Money can serve in such a great way. Money is bad when people do bad things with it. Money can be amazing when you do the right thing. What I'm telling you today, and this is not what I thought I was going to share, Put your oxygen mask on first. That's what you need to do. You need to take uncomfortable action. You need to push yourself. If you're a part of our mastermind family, welcome, be here. Push yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to do it. Take uncomfortable action. Get to the weekly trainings. Be on these inner circles. Do the things you need to do, even if it's at your own pace. You don't have to be Roger Rabbit going 100 miles an hour, but you got to move forward. Don't wait. No one's coming to do this for you. If you're a part of Project Next, or you're in our inner circle, or a KBB member, whatever you have, whatever capabilities, whatever part of our company you are, or anything you're doing, if you really want to make a difference, if you want to be in that place where you can have your oxygen mask on first, I'm going to be really honest with you. It's not easy. I've doubted myself a million times. I felt like an imposter a million times. I've had my own family look me in the eye and say, stop being a dreamer, Dean. That's for other people. You didn't go to college. We don't come from that kind of money. You'll never be that. They don't say that when I land my own jet in my hometown and my whole family gets off my own plane, right? I don't say that to be a jerk. You don't even see me. Do you ever see me post a picture of my plane on my Instagram? I'm not the guy that holds up money or shows you in my plane or my house that's the house of my dreams. I don't do that. I don't want people to follow me because I hold stacks of money on a Facebook ad, right? I want people to know me for the heart I have. But I'm blessed to have more success than I ever could have dreamed possible. And I get to take care of the people I love. I got to put my own oxygen mask on years ago, and now I put it on a lot more people than you'd ever know. That's not all I donate to. We've done it in a lot of different areas. And this year I want to donate, I don't know about the feelings you have, but who felt that in their heart when I shared what I was able to do, right? Who in here has a desire to help other people once you're secure? Can I share something with you? And I want to share this today because it just feels on my heart. I'm going to tell you to be selfish. Be selfish. Be selfish for the next 3 years. Go get yourself strong. Go put your own oxygen mask on. Put some money in the bank. Crush your company. Be selfish with your time. Be selfish with your income. Be greedy on the amount of money you want to make. I'm telling you, be greedy, be selfish. You know why? Because if you go all in, if you stop thinking, I wish I could do more, be more, go all in and make the money. Get secure and put your oxygen mask on, and what you can do in 5 years from now, what you can do in 7 years from now, what you could do in 12 years from now is unbelievable. But we need this moment of us. We need this moment of getting ourselves. So many of you I see right now are the most giving people you've ever, anyone knows. You're the person that gives the most. You know what you're doing? You're putting oxygen masks on everybody else and you can barely breathe. Tracy, I see it in your face. Melanie, I see it in your face. You're out there, Lori, I see it in your face. Gary, Alan, I see it, man. You're out there helping everybody. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And you're barely breathing. You're like, here's an oxygen mask. Here's an oxygen mask. When you need to hold it to your face. I love the story of Andrew Carnegie, right? What did Andrew Carnegie at a certain pace in his life? You know what he said? I'm going to spend the first half of my life making a ton of money. And I'm going to spend the second half of my life giving it all away. If he would have felt guilty, if he would have not went for it, he never would have got to the ability to do the things that he was able to do with his money. So again, this wasn't my topic today, but that's what the inner circle's all about. If you're a part of this family, you get what's real and raw and going on in my world. I'm telling you, be greedy, be selfish, so you could be the least greedy and the least selfish for the long run, right? What does Tony always say? And I think he got it from Jim Rohn, who probably got it from somebody else. But we all overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in 5. Who in here in 5 years from now would love to sit down with your family, like I was able to do this Christmas, right after Christmas, and say, as a family, we have X amount of dollars that we want to help people. What do you guys want to do? How does that, I don't know, maybe that doesn't ring a bell for everybody. It rang a bell for me. And my wife's like, oh my God, I want to help kids. And my daughter was like, I want to help this. There's too much separation in our world right now. Who can we help out to help bond our communities, bond the people, become the human race? My son had his idea. I'm like, okay, What do you want to spend? Go online, find a great company, find somebody that's got 5-star rating, go, come back to the table. Who are we going to donate money to? How does that feel? What does that do for your soul right now? What does that do for your heart right now? Is that bigger than anything else? But I'm telling you, don't do that until your mask is on. That's the part we all want to do. Who wants to do that? Who wants to donate more, give more, impact more, right? But I'm not saying you shouldn't help out now. If you don't donate $1 million out of 10 million, you won't donate, if you won't donate $1 out of $10, you won't donate $1 million out of 10 million. We can do things now, but be more selfish, more greedy with your time, your money, and all of it right now. Put your focus on you, put your focus on being successful, because then in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, you get to cut checks and make an influence, make an impact. And that's what I consider being success. Success isn't just the money. I have to tell you, and do you mind if I share? I hope you don't think I'm bragging. I don't tell anybody, I don't take pictures. But 10 years ago, 10 or 12 years ago, I got invited by somebody, maybe 15 years ago, I got invited to go on a private plane. I don't know, I honestly don't know how long ago. It could have been 20 years ago. And it was somebody that was really wealthy. And I came from a kid that was in a trailer park, and I was already in business, and I was already doing well, but nothing like that. And I flew on this plane, and it was like, you just drive your car to the plane, you drive right out on the tarmac. I'm in shock. You get out of your car, you take 3 steps, you walk up into the plane, it takes off, you land, and when you land, your rental car is waiting at the bottom of the steps. I'm like, holy crap. This is unbelievable. There's food on the plane. There's a bathroom on the plane. It's like, this is ridiculous. This can't be possible. And I remembered that plane. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm buying one of these someday. I'm going to buy it after I hit certain criteria, after I saved enough, after I gave enough away. I'm buying one of these. And I've chartered since then. I've probably flown mostly private. I don't know, 10 years. I never talk. You never hear me talk about this. Look at this. Some of you I have a relationship with for 7 to 10 years. Never shared this. That's why I don't want you to respect me because I got a big house and a plane. I want you to respect me for my heart, my feeling, and how I got here. And that's what I hope I share that with you guys. You see a lot of people. Go on your Facebook right now. I guarantee there's somebody holding the $500,000 in their hand and someone else in front of their Lamborghini and someone else showing off their watch, right? You never see that with me. I wear pretty much a gray t-shirt today. It's a very special day. I have a greenish gray shirt on. It's a special day right here. Special day. I see you, Pascal, right? It's unique here, man. And I see you, Kurt. So, I digress. I was on that plane probably 15, 18 years ago. I bought that plane a year ago. The plane of my dreams. I bought a newer version, of course. And if I get to go, it is unbelievable. I get to go. We went skiing this weekend. I had to be at Business Mastery for Tony. I wanted to take my kids skiing. I'm very busy. I run Tony's company. I run my company and 13 other companies. It's crazy. I only had a 2.5-day window. And we've never skied as a family. I've told that story some of you out, so I'm not going to tell that story again. But I'm like, we have 2.5 days. Oh my God, I get to call pilots and say, fire up the plane. We're going to Utah. And like literally we pack up the car and we drive up to the plane, we drive to the edge, we all jump in the plane, we land, we come out, we get in our car, and literally 3 hours from us saying, let's go, 3.5 hours later, we're standing on a ski slope. From a kid who got thrown out of a trailer park because we couldn't pay $90 a month in rent. I'm not saying it to brag, I'm just showing what's possible. But was it easy? No. Have I failed miserably? Yes. Have I doubted myself? Absolutely. Have I felt like an imposter? More than you'll ever know or ever believe. But it's possible. The only thing is we have to stay in the game. We have to find what drives us. We have to keep moving forward. We have to say to ourselves, again, I see so many incredible people on here. I know the success you've had. This isn't about you not having success up until now. It's about me hopefully helping you get to that next level of success. And listen, I'm at a place where I don't, yes, I have a plane. I have a beautiful home. But I'm not flashy. I drive a Ford pickup truck, by the way, guys. If you lived in Arizona and you saw me at a red light, I drive a white Ford F-150 every day. I do not have any other car. I don't have motorcycles. I don't buy watches. I have a really nice watch on my wrist right now. If you know watches, it's one of the nicest watches out there. It was a present from Tony Robbins, from all the work we do together. Or else I'd have a simple old watch or not wear one at all. So I'm really simple in some areas, and then I get to do the things that I want, but I wouldn't do any of those things that I want unless I could give at the level I want to give. Last year, I donated more to charity than ever before in my life. I need to do that. I need to break last year this year, right? So that's my message for today is it's all possible. Dream big, but know we have to put in the work. It doesn't come by accident. There's no magical money machines. You don't invent something today and be rich tomorrow. You don't put a page up on mastermind.com on Friday and by Monday there's $1 million in your account. It's a process. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes work, it takes overcoming your fear, it takes being brave, it takes being courageous. And at the end of the day, I've had an ulcer before as a kid, I've stressed, I've gone broke, I've been ridiculed, I felt bad about myself, I felt insecure. And at the end of the day, I would do it 1,000,000 times over. I get to be with you amazing people. And here's the thing I know. If I would have stayed and just went into a job and worked for someone else, even though I knew I had more to give the world. And I'm not saying a job is bad, I'm saying the wrong job, right? I still would have failed. I still would have felt like an imposter. I still would have been ridiculed. All those things still would have happened, but I would have had someone else with their foot on my head. So if somebody says to me, man, doing your own thing, going for that next level is scary. Yes, it's even scarier to think that I have to live by someone else's rules for the rest of my life. Think about what's scarier, trying and failing, or living by someone else's rules for the rest of your life. I don't think there's any comparison. Guys, thank you for letting me share that little riff there. That was not intended, but I just felt like it was needed. Okay, now I'm going to squeeze in a little bit of marketing and sales in today's world. So here's what I want to share. Man, that was a complete 360 here. But here's what I want to share with you guys. The world has changed. And we must, and you guys have heard me say this before, again, if you're a part of my mastermind community, welcome, good to have you here, KBB, Project Next, or just part of my inner circle world. This is a great family to stay involved with forever. I've shared this so many times, I want to share it again. We must, when it comes to marketing and sales and persuasion and influence, whatever it is you want to call it, let's just lump it all together today. We must live inside the minds of our prospects, those people that could do business with us. We must finish their sentences. We must know their fear, know their goals, know their desires. If you're teaching people how to play better tennis, what are their goals? What are their desires? What are their fears? If you're teaching people how to go vegan or fix their relationship or find passion or how to get through menopause, what is their biggest worry of going through menopause? I know we have multiple students that are doing really well teaching women how to healthy and elegantly get through menopause. That's why I brought it up. It's like, what is the biggest fear? What is their biggest goal? Why do they want to be that way? And what can they do to solve it, right? But those things change with the outside world. I've asked this to you guys probably in different places, but I ask you here. Are you guys having the same conversations at dinner today as you had at dinner a year ago? And are you having the same conversations at dinner today than you had 3 years ago, the month before COVID hit? If the best marketing is living inside the mind of the prospect, and you still have the same marketing as you did last year or 2 years or 3 years ago, then are you evolving or are you past due? Like, I see so many companies that ask me to consult for them and I just don't have the time. I say no to most, but a lot of them, I'll see them and in 2 seconds, like, you don't need me to consult. You have the same marketing messages running today than you did 3 years ago. You don't need me to consult. Go update your marketing. Live inside the mind of your prospect today. Go go ride the bus, go to Walmart, go to Target, go to wherever your ideal client hangs out and listen to their conversations. It's different from where it used to be. So as a marketer, we must intuitively or study and find out, what are people thinking? What are they afraid of today? What are their goals today? right? Some people had goals 3 years ago. Now their goal is just to be outside, be free, not worry about COVID, not worry about this, not worry about that. We must see whatever industry or niche or dot that you're in, if you're in the self-education industry, you must meet them where they are. I'm not trying to oversimplify this, and I'm telling you, I don't care. I have so many successful students on here that are crushing it. If you haven't done your first sale yet, you made your first sale, or you're doing 100 grand a month, this message applies to all of you. We must adjust the way we talk, the way we communicate, the way we market. Here's what this is the part I want to share with you today. I want you to take away the thought of marketing, sales, influence, persuasion, and I want you to think of helping people, no matter what it is you share. It could be self-defense. It could be learning karate. It could be learning sales. It could be learning to find self-love again. You could be a life coach, a health coach, whatever you are. This applies to all of you. And I wrote this down, whether you're doing a phone call, a video, a letter, or an email, a blog, you're doing a social media post, I want you to think through this lens. Now, if you guys have gone through any of my training or seen, I share a lot of really understanding where people are with honesty, where they really want to go, why the heck they want it, and do you have the capabilities to help them? Now, here's something I want to share with you. And you should write this down. Don't be afraid to push the wrong client away. The way you will build your confidence and your brand is don't try to teach people that you shouldn't be teaching. Right? Who in here, anybody, we haven't really started the promotion yet, but who in here has a ticket to our Impact Accelerator event? It's coming up in March. Anybody have a ticket here? I see about 1/3 of the people. When you love what you do, that's a new event we have, right? It's a brand new event, and that is for people that are already in this industry or have committed to it who want to learn how to scale, okay? I know if you're already in this industry but haven't made a deal but you want to, or you're making sales and you want to go to another level, I know that'll be the greatest event that exists. But I have to have the nerve to say, if you're already making 100 grand a month, it's probably not the event for you. And if you've never thought about the knowledge industry, you don't know what it is, you haven't gone through to identify what your niche is or what your dot is, it's going to be too advanced for you. You have to have the nerve to say, hey, you're already making a ton of money. I have another product. This isn't for you. You've never really thought of this. You don't even know where to start. This isn't for you. You'll be lost. I must find my lane and go really deep on that. The Impact Accelerator Live is just for people who know they're in this business, they know what their niche is, and they haven't made a sale yet, or they're making sales and they want to go to another level. That way, the event, everybody feels the same, everybody's got their arms up in the air, and you're not having somebody go, I'm already making 100 grand, why the hell am I here? Or, I don't even know what my dot is. Can you help me with my dot? That's another program. We do that at the World Summit, we do that in our other trainings, right? You have to have the nerve, right from the beginning, to push the people that aren't aligned with exactly what you want to teach away. And I promise you, the gods, the self-education angels will bless you with way more of the right fit clients because you have the opportunity. We will feel the best when we get to speak into our niche, right? If I was just teaching business in general and I was pretending that I knew about accounting or Excel spreadsheets or creating SOPs and KPIs and all that stuff, I'd be lying, I'd be insecure, I'd be like, oh, that stuff drives me crazy. But man, get into marketing or people's hearts, you see me light up. That's my lane, that's my swimming lane, right? So the first thing I want you to think about is don't be afraid to push the wrong people away. Make sense? Live inside the mind of your prospect today. All we have to say is, I know I taught that. A lot of you have been through Project Next or KBB or other trainings I have. And I always say, live inside the mind of your prospect, right? People buy from you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. Have anybody hear me say those two things before? I didn't make them up, I heard them, but hear me. Live inside the mind of your prospect, let people feel understood, not just let them understand you. Those two things are the foundation of how I serve, how I sell, how I market, right? But even though I've shared those with you, I want you to hear this. At the end of those, live inside the mind of your prospect now. People will buy from you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. Now. That one word makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? The now part changes it, because now is a little different than yesterday. Tomorrow will be a little different. And a year from now, things will be a little different. It's not a completely different message. It's a subtle shift. Your dinner conversations aren't totally different, but they're different. Foundationally, they're the same, but they're different. So don't be afraid to push the wrong people away. All that does is attract the right people even stronger. Make sense? Secondly, live inside the mind of your prospect now. Enter conversations they're having now. Let them feel understood now. Understand, this is the next one, understand their biggest fears now. And remember, when I say fear, some people say, well, I just teach people to cook. There's still a fear. I want to be a better cook, and I'm not going to be a better cook. I want to invite people over and make a magical meal. I want to host a party. I want to eat healthier. I want to go with Agatha and learn how to do vegan way better, right? It's a fear of not living healthy, a fear of not presenting to your wife or to your husband, or fear of having a dinner party and it tastes like crap. There's still a fear. And then there's a desire. I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to get rid of my autoimmune disease. I want to cure diabetes. I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to throw a dinner party that the whole town brags about. That's where I want to go. Why do you want it? Because my mom sucked at cooking. Because I've burned everything. Because my last husband said, or my last wife said. There's always a why behind it. So here's what I want to tell you. When you understand this, and by understanding, all you gotta do is find groups of similar people that are already in places that talk about the things that you're going to serve. Here's what I wanted to share today. My whole point. We were lucky enough. Is anybody in here a part of our Project Next Level? Is anybody here from Project Next Level? Oh my God. Hey everybody. Good to see you guys. If you're a part of Project Next Level, then you guys were a part of our sales training. Every once in a while, we open up the opportunity to work with us on a deeper level. We do intensive masterminds. We work together, right? So we have this amazing group, Project Next Level, and 3-4 weeks ago, we had a 3-day immersion, but it was like the third one, and we've been working our way up. It was our third one, and the whole 3 days was about selling and getting people out of their comfort zone. And I have to tell you, people were like, you're gonna make me jump on a call? Ah! Like people, half the group was freaked. If you're a part of Project Next Level, were they freaked? Right? Because the rubber met the road. Like, Dean, you taught me all this stuff and now you're making me go do it? It's like, yes, that's our goal. Like you're cut us a check to keep you accountable. We're holding your feet to the fire. You want to hear something amazing? In one weekend, one group, you ready for this? 90% new people. They sold $987,000 in first-time sales. Is that unbelievable or what? And here's what I want to say. Yeah, we should give it up for the, here's what I want to say is the pre-frame, and the reason I'm sharing that with you is the pre-frame of what I said to him is we made people call. Now, most of you aren't going to do your sales doing a phone call, but if you can do a phone call and collect money, everything else is exponentially easier. Doing a video is easier, writing an email is easier, doing a sales page is easier. So when we were designing this, I said, let's pick the hardest one. Let's make them take the most uncomfortable action. Let's have them do phone calls, right? And here's what I said. So I see Cyrene is here. What's up, Cyrene? Good to see you. She's one of our students who helps women through menopause, right? I remember having a conversation with her 6-8 months ago. So imagine this. Cyrene just happens to be where I could see her right in the line of camera here. What if you looked at it through just the lens of sales, okay? I know a friend, I know this person, they were on this Facebook group. She's going through menopause. I'm gonna reach out to her and try to sell her into my program. When you look at it that way, it's like, ugh, kind of feels icky, right? But you send her a direct message and say, hey, I see you going through menopause and I love to talk about it too. Is there anything I can help you with? No, do you have any tricks? Yeah, I got you some cool tricks. You wanna jump on a call? I have a program that could really help you. Wanna jump on a call? That's really how fast it works. This is some of the trainings that we did, right? Now you're gonna jump on a call. If you look through the lens of oh my God, I got to jump on a call and sell her into my program. That feels heavy. Who feels that, right? Ugh. But what if your thoughts, right? I just had this conversation with my kids this weekend. Everything is about your state, about your belief of the situation. I just told my kids they got to read a book a month. They want to keep the life they have. They want to be able to fly in a private plane, ski in Utah, do all that cool stuff. They got to start reading a book a month. I tried to bribe them with money. It didn't work. I'm just being honest. Offered them $50 a book and they didn't do it. I would have chewed through 3 houses and a brick wall at their age for $50. Maybe cut off a toe, right? So that didn't work. So now I have to do the opposite side and I have to take away. So if they don't read books, they're going to lose crap, right? So they're like, okay, and I had this conversation about change your state. Like, instead of saying, oh, I gotta read this book that my dad suggested, what about if you said, wow, every time I read a book, I'll learn something. I get to keep all my privileges. And I just kept talking to them where by the time I was done changing their association of reading a book went from, oh, my dad wants me to read it to, oh, dude, all kinds of cool stuff can come out of it. By the time I was done, they were both reading, right? It's really good being good with words. Someday my kids will be like, you manipulated us all through. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I changed their state around what it meant to read a book, right? So I want to, right now, in the next 10 minutes, I want to change your state about selling, because this is what we did in our training. If Cyrene got a lead, if someone says, I'm going through menopause, I'm struggling, I feel crazy, I can't sleep at night, great, let's jump on a call. I have something that might help you. If she says, oh, I gotta sell, thinking in her head, I gotta sell my program, oh, I gotta pitch her my program, oh, and then I gotta ask for the money. Now remember, this could be an email, a letter, a video, a blog. I'm just talking about a phone call because it's the hardest. You're on the phone with someone, right? If you think about that, it seems hard. You think about, well, how do I pitch it? And you get on the phone and be like, hi, I know you're going through menopause. Listen, I know because I've been there and I know what it feels like and I cured me and I feel great now and I look the best I've ever done. I feel alive. I feel sexy. Okay, so I have a 7-part program. I'd like to offer that to you. That's one way. And that kind of feels icky too, doesn't it? What if you just got on the phone like you would talk to a friend? What would you say? What if Cyrene had a friend? I'm picking on you because again, I can see you and I know your history, but you pick this and add in anything that you're doing. What if you had a friend or you met that person online and they're going through menopause and you get them on the phone? And instead of thinking you're going to sell to them, you want to serve. You want to just help them. Everybody likes helping other people with stuff you know. And what if you just got on the phone and said, wow, thanks for jumping on a call with me. Thanks for being so open to share what you're going through. I understand. You know, what's going on in your life right now? What's happening? I can't sleep at night. I have night sweats. I'm gaining weight. I don't even know why I'm gaining weight. I'm not doing anything different. I feel crazy. I feel like my husband doesn't love me anymore. I'm going nuts. Oh, I'm so sorry you feel that way. Believe me, I understand. I've been there. I've been in that situation. So where would you hope to be? What would you like? I'd like to not have these crazy sweats. I'd like to feel like a woman again. I'd like to not gain this weight. I'd like to look sexy for my husband when I walk in the room, or sexy for the person I'm dating, or the woman I'm attracted to, whatever. Oh, I understand that. So I see where you are. I'm sorry you're going through that. I know it's tough. And I know that's where you'd love to be. Why do you think, why are you passionate about doing this? Everybody goes through menopause. Why do you want? Because I want to do it naturally. I don't want to be on the medications that the doctors give me. The medication is making me crazier. It's making me bloated. I'm making all this up, by the way. I'm completely making this shit up. But I'm just saying, I have no idea what menopause, how to feel through menopause. Just a little bit that Cyrene shared, right? But imagine if you got into where they are, as you would a friend. Wouldn't you ask a friend where they are? If someone said, I'm in the worst relationship in my life, I need to talk to you, what would you say? What's up? What's going on with your relationship? Right? Wouldn't you say that to a friend? And then would you say, what would you like out of your relationship? I'd like to be connected. I'd like our intimacy back. I'd love him to look at me. I'd love it when a woman walks by, he doesn't stare at her. I don't know, whatever, right? And then you say, why would you want that? I want my kids to see love. I want to feel loved. I don't want to feel alone anymore. And when it comes to menopause, I want to feel like I used to feel. I don't want to feel like I'm getting older, or I'm crazy, or I'm bloated, or I can't sleep, or crazy night sweats. That's what you would say to a friend. Am I making sense to you guys? Isn't that what you would say to a friend? If Cyrene was just talking to somebody who said, I'm having menopause trouble, isn't that what she would say if she didn't even have a course? So if you're talking to a friend and saying, hey, what's up? Where are you? Wow, I understand. Where would you like to be? Wow, I see that. That's cool. Why do you want that? They get in their heart. I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to feel connected. I want my kids to be safe. I want to sell better. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to play video games better. I don't know what it is, the why. And then if you don't have the solution, you say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're going through it. Here's my best advice. If you don't have, but if you do, if they say, I'm going through menopause, I feel crazy, I want to feel better, I want to do it naturally. If Cyrene has the answer for that woman, she is doing them a disservice by not offering her product. She's screwing her over if she doesn't sell her product. It's not selling, it's serving. Could you imagine that conversation and Cyrene say, you know what, I went through the exact same thing. I felt alone, I felt hopeless, but then I went to doctors and I just took the healthier part and I left the rest away. Then I found this natural vitamin and minerals that can do this. Then I found that yoga did this, and I found these 7 steps. And you know what those 7 steps did? They literally stopped the night sweats. I lost the weight. I felt sexier than ever. I felt alive. I felt good. And you know what I did? I spent the last year and turned it into a program. And I'd love for you to be a part of it because I really think it could help you. Is anybody afraid of that conversation? Raise your hand if that scares you. Right? The first part scares you, of course. I got to call this woman and sell. No, I got to call this woman and just pound my product and ask for money. Or I got to call this person, see if I can help them. That's how we framed that weekend. That's why we almost got to $1 million in sales, because people threw out all the preconceived notions of what selling means, and they decided to serve. So guys, you're part of my inner circle. You're part of this family. Today, I just wanted to help take away that fear and give you a different frame, a different association. And I started today, I didn't know I was going to talk about putting your own oxygen mask on, but here's what I want to tell you. You can't put your own oxygen mask on at the level you want unless you market and sell. Sorry if that's news that you don't want to hear. If you build it, they will not come. I don't care how great it is, Federica, or Jonathan, or Andrea, or Joanne, or Tammy, or Stephen, or Melanie. I don't care how great your product is, or Vicky, I don't care how great your product is. If you build it, they won't come. It won't go viral on its own. You're gonna have to market, you're gonna have to sell. But how cool is it that you can do it through love, through compassion, through caring? I don't care what it is. You're teaching people guitar, menopause, playing video games, selling better, finding inner peace, painting with wolves, being an artist, playing the piano. All of it is the same conversation if you truly care and if you truly have a product that can help them. And at the end, if you find out your product doesn't, you know how the self-education gods pay you back? By saying, thank you for sharing. I do have a product, but I don't think it fits you right now. Maybe you could Google it. Maybe you can go to mastermind.com. Or I saw Thomas and Grace had a program on mastermind.com that I think is more aligned with what you do. That's when you start building real momentum. You guys getting this? Give me a hell yes if this is making sense. All right. Well, this is what Inner Circle's all about if you're brand new. Get your butt here every month live. I know about half of you watch it live, and about a third watch it live, and 2/3 watch the replay. And if you're watching the replay, what's up? But try to get here live. Isn't it cool interacting? I get to see all your comments. I get to see your face. I get to see Sam rocking it out over there. I love having you guys live. And I saw when I was talking about the Impact Accelerator Live, someone who said, what is that? If you want, write this down right now and put it in the chat. Mastermindticket.com. Mastermindticket.com. We are doing the Impact Accelerator Live in March. And again, like I said, don't be afraid to tell. If you're already making a gazillion dollars a month, that's probably not your event. And if you've never thought about, and some of you haven't, if you've never thought about, you don't even know what the self-education industry is, you don't know what your niche is, that's not for you. But if you're in this space, what that whole 3-day event is really about is what we did similar to what we did in our 3-day with the team, teaching you high ticket sales. That's really, I'm kind of pulling back the curtain. Impact Accelerator is teaching you how to take your offer, whether you have a $97 course or a $500 course, and how do you enhance it, how do you shift it, how do you improve it, and bring it up the value ladder and be able to sell a higher ticket, make more impact. we had so many people sell $2,000 ticket, a $5,000 ticket. One person sold two $10,000 tickets. So how do you structure what you're teaching, have the courage to teach it? How do you offer it, how to sell it? That's what we're gonna do over 3 days. It's an event. We weren't ready for this event yet because we wanna keep most of our family here, right? But over the last 3 years, we've had so many successful people selling courses, and so many people have been asking, how do I go to that next level? How do I take it to a 7-figure business? How do I go higher, bigger, faster? That's why we decided to do it. Believe me, I've been putting off doing a second 3-day event for years, but we've had so many people ask. It's our #1 request, so I decided to lock it in the calendar. So this will be a yearly event. So we'll have the Mastermind World Summit. Who was at the Mastermind World Summit? Raise your hand if you were there. Amazing event. That won't be till October this year. And the Impact Accelerator will be in March, and that'll happen every year. It'll be March and October. So World Summit is kind of newer people. Impact Accelerator already know they want to be in this business. And that's what we do, right? We impact people for a living, and we want to accelerate that. So if you haven't got your ticket, there's still an early bird special. I'd say go get one. Seriously, you know who it's for and who it's not. It's going to be an amazing event. If you can schedule on your May 4th, 5th, and 6th, or March 4th, 5th, and 6th, but it's the whole, I know Connie's like, what do you mean May? No, it's March. But if you're gonna do it, make sure, obligate yourself to the whole time, because it's kind of builds, and this is not a hour training, it's not a quick hit. This is if you've been to UPW or Mastermind World Summit, it's a 3-day immersive event on understanding and building a high ticket offer. It's called Impact Accelerator. It's Mastermind Ticket. Oh, it's on the screen. Cool. MastermindTicket.com. And I know the team has it up as an early bird special. The way it works, it creates the urgency. The price gets higher as we get closer to the event, so I know you can get a great price on it. And we'd love to see you there. It's going to be pretty darn amazing. It'll be virtual. We'll do it right here in this studio. All right, guys. That's Inner Circle. If you're new, what do you think? Let me know, on a scale of 1 to 10, what'd you think today? I'd love to see your feedback. If you're new to our world, pleasure to have you here. Those of you who are part of our family, thank you, Andrea. I appreciate the 10. Sue, I appreciate the 10. Guys, thank you every month. Try to be here live. This is our family. This is amazing. I hope to see you at the Impact Accelerator, mastermindticket.com. See you guys next month. Bye, guys.